Good morning, Sports Biz. Zach Logsdon with you here on Podcast Tuesday. It's called Podcast Tuesday because today we drop a new episode of Winning is Not a Strategy, my podcast, the podcast that talks to athletics administrators about the topics and problems that plague the minds of the industry and how we can do our jobs better and how we can do what we were hired to do, which is drive attendance to our sporting events. Today's podcast is all about crazy ideas. Crazy ideas being those that at first appear crazy, but then become commonplace. And we talk about how, 100 years ago, the idea of flying to, cross country was an insane idea, or the idea that you could have a conversation with somebody on the other side of town was crazy. And fast forward to today, and not only is it's crazy to think that we couldn't have a conversation with somebody across town or across the world, and now you do it on a device where you can get literally any piece of information at your fingertips simply by asking that phone a question. So that's the overall concept we'll talk about in today's episode of Winning is Not a Strategy. And the point being, we are facing a problem in the industry of declining attendance, year after year after year of declining attendance at sporting events. The thing that is going to reverse that is a crazy idea, and we have to, as an industry and as leaders, foster an environment where not only are we creating crazy ideas that might be the next big thing that changes the landscape of athletics, but also fostering an environment where crazy ideas are welcome. At our meetings, our weekly meetings, at our just day-to-day atmosphere, we have to, as leaders, create that environment where people feel invited and welcome to throw out those crazy ideas. So that's what today's episode is about. We talked to 12 of the nation's experts on athletics and how they have created environments where crazy ideas are welcome and encouraged, but also what crazy ideas they may want to try that they haven't gotten to try, or what crazy ideas they have tried that either did or didn't work. So that's today's episode of Winning is Not a Strategy. Download, listen, rate, and review, and share, please. Regardless of your opinion, please rate and review. I'd love to hear your feedback. The only way we get better is through your feedback. So this is episode, I think, 7 of the podcast. Many more to come, and then we'll have future seasons as well with new experts featured. As I do on Podcast Tuesday, I don't just talk about Winning is Not a Strategy. I recommend other podcasts as well. I would recommend that you listen to one of my favorite podcasts is one called Criminal, which is kind of a true crime podcast that I really enjoy. I also love some podcasts by a podcasting company called Gimlet Media. I mentioned one of them last week, which is Heavyweight, but I would also recommend that you check out Reply All, which is an internet podcast, a podcast about the internet. Really, really fascinating stuff there. And then I would also recommend another one by Gimlet, one called The Pitch. More geared toward those of us that are entrepreneurs. And if you like Shark Tank, you will like The Pitch. Same idea, where startups are pitching their ideas to VCs and investors. Just really, really fun to listen to, that one. So listen to Winning is Not a Strategy, listen to Reply All, listen to The Pitch, and listen to Criminal. Those are my recommendations for today. And here I am, stuck in a traffic jam, bright and early this morning for Good Morning Sports Biz. See you tomorrow.